Hey there, Central Ohio. Thanks for joining me here on 10 TV Plus, the 10 TV Facebook page, YouTube, or in our weather app as well. We are going to be talking all things about the winter storm that's heading our way as we head through the rest of this weekend and into the start of the work week. It is going to be a bit of a doozy for parts of Central Ohio. We're talking heaviest snow we've seen in some time, certainly heaviest snow we've seen here so far this winter. Let me go ahead and pull up the stream on my phone so I can see your guys' questions as they come in here this evening. We're going to go through the weather information that we have first, and then once we get to the end of that presentation, we'll come back here, we'll answer those questions for you, try to get as much information answered for you as we can. As far as the main impact of the forecast goes, late Sunday through Monday, heavy snow heading towards Central Ohio. Expect difficult, if not dangerous at times, travel across the region. It's really going to be a big snow system pushing through Central Ohio. Again, biggest one we've seen here in some time. The good news is if you haven't quite made it up to stock up yet, planning for a day inside as you head through Monday, you got time. The rest of the forecast tonight looking quiet, and in fact, most of the forecast tomorrow should be quiet too. You see, you got plenty of cloud cover, but the first snowflakes really don't start to fall here in Franklin County until about 6 to 8 o'clock. So most of the day tomorrow will be dry in Central Ohio. The snow will start further to the south earlier in the evening. As far as what we have out there for now, it's mostly just flurries. The system that we're watching that's going to be bringing us all of the snow into Central Ohio still back out into the Central Plains. Snow pushing into St. Louis this evening. You can see freezing rain out toward Kansas City. This is all going to slide across Indiana and into Ohio here in the next 48 hours, really the next 24 hours, and we should expect the system to pretty much be on top of us by the time we head toward about 8 o'clock tomorrow. From there, snow will get heavier as we head into the evening. I want to show you what the latest winter weather alerts are across Central Ohio. We have several categories in place right now. The heaviest impacts are expected south of I-70. That's what we have the counties highlighted in pink. Those are under winter storm warnings as this system pushes in. This is where we could have the heaviest snowfall. This is where we'll have the most difficult travel throughout the day, Sunday night and into Monday. And this is where we could get a little bit of ice as well, especially the further south you go, down toward Waverly or Wellston. That's where we could see some ice potential impacts in the forecast. But the good news is those have been trending a little bit less impactful in the 10 TV viewing area over the last 24 hours. Areas further to the north, like us here in Columbus, in London, Marysville, Delaware, Newark, we're under winter weather advisories. We're still expecting plowable snow. We're still expecting impactful snowfall to your Monday morning commute, just not as extreme as what they're expecting across those southern counties. Of course, there's still time for this path to shift. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of these get changed around here in the next 24 hours as we get a better track of where the system's actually going, because it's a very thin line between the heavy snow further south and not quite as heavy snow, which we're expecting across the central portion of the 10 TV viewing area. Further to the east, Zanesville, Cambridge, Caldwell, out into Pennsylvania, still under winter storm watches right now, because again, as we try to pin down that exact path, we're not sure if you guys are going to get into that heaviest snow bands that we're expecting to the south or more of the lighter snow bands like as you get up toward Delaware and to the north. Depending on how that tracks in the next 12 hours, 24 hours, I would expect by tomorrow morning, certainly by tomorrow evening, this watch will have gone away and we'll be looking at some kind of warning or advisory. When it comes to timing out the snowfall heading our way, here's the latest hour by hour news day sent to us here at 10 TV. As far as what we can expect by noon on Sunday, still, like we said, most of us dry, certainly dry here in Columbus, but the snow's getting close by this point. We're talking southern portions of the state down to Piketon, Jackson. You guys could be seeing your first flakes fall as early as the midday to early afternoon. That starts to creep further north as we head towards sundown. By that point, late afternoon, early evening, southern counties likely to see snowfall already coming down. That's part of the reason you guys have that warning. You're just going to have more time under the snow. It's just starting to get to us here in Franklin County. Again, remember we said that 6 to 8 o'clock time frame where we're kind of thinking that snow starts to arrive here in Franklin County, here along most of the I-70 corridor. Once we head past there towards, say, about 8, 9 o'clock, heavy snow starting to fall across southern portions portions of the region. Snowfall rates picking up along the I-70 corridor as well. You notice the northern counties, some of you guys up toward Bucyrus, Mansfield, you don't even have the weather alerts because you're going to miss out on the bulk of the snowfall. Heaviest impacts will be felt from 70 to the south as we push into the overnight hours past midnight as heavy snow bands continue. But we do see another concern, like we talked about, that possibility for ice. Far southern side of the map here, you see some of those purples down there. That's that ice potential that could work its way into the southern counties. But again, the good news is the models for the most part are trending that impact lower. As we head toward the morning commute Monday, we're starting to see this break up a little bit in terms of the heaviest snowfall. We're getting this to more of a scattered snow by this point, scattered bands of heavy snow from time to time pushing into the region. Not quite the continuous everyone all the time snowfall, but this is still going to be impacting that morning commute. They're still going to be trying to clean up from the heavy snow that came during the night. As we head past sunrise Monday, we start to see some areas get out of the heavier bands of snow. Areas north of I-70, by this point, we're starting to look a little bit drier. We're not seeing as much snow head our way, but areas south of I-70, we could see an additional wave develop. The hour-by-hour forecast here showing that snow filling back in as we head toward Monday midday and into the afternoon. By that point, again, areas north of I-70, we're pretty much done, but you can see the areas to the south still picking up potentially heavy snowfall as we head into Monday afternoon. This will slide out as we head toward Monday night. Could see a little bit of straggling flurry activity, maybe some moisture coming off the lake, getting us into a few flakes of snow. But by the time we head toward Monday evening, most of the impactful snowfall is gone, but we're still going to be dealing with the snow that did fall across the region. Of course, the big question with this, everyone wants to know how much snow expected to fall with this system. Well, here's our latest thoughts at 10 TV. Areas in the pink, these are the same counties that are under that winter storm warning. This is where we're expecting the heaviest snow to be. This could potentially, in a spot or two, go over 10 inches of snow if you get the right spot. That's not going to be everyone. This is going to be some of those embedded spots that could get to that number. But in the pink, kind of a 7 to 10 inch range that we're thinking right now, again, could see some ice. Mostly far southern counties would be a concern for that. But either way, it's going to be tricky travel throughout Sunday evening, Sunday night, into the day Monday. Areas in the blue band here across the I-70 corridor, this is kind of our transition zone. Right now, we've got us around a 4 to 7 inch range. Again, could see some on the lower end of that, could see some on the higher end of that. There's still a lot of uncertainty around the exact track of the system. You notice, again, very tight banding here on the north end of the system when it comes to the forecast. So if this slides any bit north, that heavier snow could move into the 70 corridor. But by the same token, as this slides any bit south, we're talking about a county, maybe half a county wide band here, we would see drastically lower numbers. We think the best chance for heavy snow is going to stay in those southern counties regardless of what path this system takes. That's the greater guarantee. It's a little bit less confident here across the I-70 corridor. Once you get off to the northern counties, you see we start ducking down to maybe about half a county at the most where we go from level to level because that's that real tight gradient we're expecting here in the forecast. We see about 2 to 4 inches here, dropping quickly to 1 to 2 as you head up to the north, and the northern part of the state really going to miss out on this system, really a central and southern Ohio system as it pushes through. That will be the area with the highest impacts. I want to show you snowfall confidence when it comes to the system as well. I've broken it out into Columbus and then for our southern counties as well. We'll start with Columbus. 2 inches. Right now, that looks pretty likely. To get at least 2 inches here in Columbus looks pretty likely. You bump that up to 4, still looking pretty likely. We're pretty confident that we could get to that 4 number. It's once you start to go higher that we're not impossible to see that kind of snowfall, but we're not as confident that we'll see that kind of snowfall. Those higher totals, 6 and 8 inch totals or higher, go toward the low side of the confidence meter. Again, that 2 to 4 looking pretty likely in Columbus, but you get much higher than that and the confidence falls quickly. It's not quite the same story in the southern counties, areas south of I-70. Here we have a higher range, 4 inches plus. That looks very likely. We are expecting to see at least that much snowfall. Once we get down to 6 inches, still looking pretty likely across those southern counties. We start to get a little less confident once we get up toward that 8 number. I think we're going to see some spots that see totals near 8, if not higher than 8, but higher than that is likely going to be fewer and further between, at least from the data that we've been looking at now. It's not impossible for us to get a 10+ inch snowfall total somewhere in southern Ohio, but our confidence in predicting that right now more toward the low end. So this is kind of the inside baseball of what goes into making our snowfall forecast here at 10 TV. I want to talk again quickly about the ice potential across the region. Again, good news is this has been trending lower. Not impossible for us to get a little bit of icing out there from this winter storm as it pushes through, but it's just not going to be the main dish, so to speak. Those southern counties, again, they're the ones with the highest risk. Piketon, you can see up to about 500 of an inch of ice. Doesn't sound like a lot, but keep in mind you get to a 1/10 of an inch of ice, and that is some pretty major icing that would cause impacts, heavy tree limbs, falling power lines, stuff like that, and of course icy roads. So those southern counties are the ones we're watching the most, and you can see just outside the 10 TV viewing area some of those hotter pink colors that pop up as you get into southern Ohio, down along the river, down towards Cincinnati. I think that's where the heaviest impact for icing is going to be. If you're traveling towards southern Ohio Monday into Tuesday, use extreme caution because you're going to see that heavier icing, especially across southern portions of the state. When it comes to the temperatures that follow this system, the snow that comes down, it's going to be with us for a while. We are back into a cold weather pattern here across the region. 7-day forecast temperatures after we get past this system. We just don't get a warm up. We're staying below freezing pretty much the entirety of the next 7 days. Some spots in southern Ohio may briefly tick up to around the low 30s by the afternoon. But again, we're looking at a cold forecast heading our way. Another factor to consider as the snow heads our way, it's not just the snowfall, but it's what the wind does with the snow once it's here. As we head through the day tonight and into tomorrow, wind gusts not too bad. You can see about 5 to 15 miles per hour. That's pretty normal. As we get into Sunday night, though, and early Monday, this starts to kick up as well. We're going to talk wind gusts by the time you head to your morning commute on Monday morning that could be up over 20 to 25 miles per hour. This is going to be blowing the snow. This is going to be drifting the snow. This is going to be making roads worse, visibilities worse. It's why we're looking at those impacts to travel, especially for Monday morning. As we head into Monday afternoon, winds out there stay strong. It's going to be a cold one. Wind chills are going to be in the teens all day. Another factor you got to keep in mind as you head out the door, and it's still going to be blowing that snow around, especially where it's still coming down in the southern counties. Once we get into Monday evening, Monday night, those winds start to back down. That's the other impact to our forecast here, not just the snowfall totals coming down, but the wind that'll come with these snows. As your impact forecast for Monday. Make sure you bundle up as that snow and wind heads our way. So again, we'll recap here. The weather impact as we head into the system, we're looking at snow and winds gusting to 25 miles per hour, if not higher than 24 miles per hour. Mainly snow, but we can't rule out a little bit of ice out there either. And then plowable snow likely around the Columbus area, especially as you head further to the south. We are certainly expecting to see that plowable snow coming here across the region. Is going to be a pretty slow couple hours here across central Ohio from Monday night into the early part Sunday night into the early part of the day Monday. Even by the evening commute Monday, still could see some slowdowns here across the region. We're looking at, again, really the first impactful snowfall that we've seen here in central Ohio. I want to go ahead and get to some of your questions here now across the region. If you haven't seen it on your screens before, we are taking questions on Facebook, or you can send us a text message as well. Let me pull up that text number for you real quick here. I believe you have that in the back for me as well. We can put that on the screen. There it is. 614-460-3345. If you don't have Facebook, you can send us a text. I'll be looking at those messages coming in here on my computer as well. And then I want to go ahead and go through some of the Facebook messages that we have. Virginia saying probably going to end up with just rain. I would be doubtful of that right now. It is looking like this system is going to come into central Ohio as snow. Let's put the weather graphics back up with us as well. We'll show you that hour by hour forecast again as it comes into central Ohio. That's where, again, just not much rain with this. This is just too cold. We're going to stay on the snow side of this system. Let's see. A lot of people really wondering if we're actually going to do this snow system. In fact, Jimmy says we doing this or what? Yes, we are likely to do this system of snow as we come through the region. It's going to be the first impactful one that we've seen here this year. Heidi asking about Cambridge. Will Cambridge see anything with this system? Yes. You guys are under a winter storm watch right now, not under the warning as of the moment, but again, it's kind of on that line. I'll switch back over to the snowfall forecast, and really across Guernsey County, you almost have a little bit of every single category. You go very quickly from 2 to 4 up in the northern side of the county to potentially as high as 7 or more in the southern portions of the county. So it's really going to depend on how the system tracks in the next 24 hours. If you get a lot or you get a little, you're on that edge right now. Let's see here. Johnny asked about Mansfield. Johnny, it is not going to be a big impact for Mansfield. You're going to get a little bit of snow out there, but we're talking mostly superficial snow up to the north. We're not expecting it to be very heavy up in Mansfield. Bucyrus is the same. Really, Kenton, Marion, Mount Gilead, all not expecting to see very heavy snowfalls. But if we do, again, if the system shifts a little bit further to the north, we could certainly push some of those heavier snowfall totals up a little bit higher. So again, that's something we'll be watching for as this system pushes through. Again, in the next 24 hours, we'll kind of get a better refining of where some of those heaviest snowfall totals will go. Let's see here. Oh, got a lot of people asking about Hocking County and whether or not you guys will get ice. There is a possibility you guys could get a little bit of ice. I think your bigger problem is going to be snow. You're down in the heavy snow band. Again, we're talking 7 to 10 inches of snowfall. That is where the heaviest snow is going to be. I think that's going to be your bigger problem down there further to the south. Union and Logan counties asking about it as well. You guys are pretty much clear from the ice, Chad, but you guys are in the snow bands. Union County especially kind of split, kind of one of those counties again, where if you get up to the northern side of the county, could have very little snow. Southern side of the county has a better chance, but again, you guys are a little bit further toward the northern side of this system. Let's see here. Virginia's saying, heck, they thought they were going to get slammed. I'm not sure what county you're in. I might have answered that question earlier, actually. I might have said your location. My apologies if I forgot that. But again, not looking for everyone to get slammed, but certainly going to see some people here get slammed. Apologies for my voice. I got a little bit of a cold over Christmas vacation, so I'm trying to get over that now. But again, it's going to be a big snowfall, especially across southern portions of the region. Angel is asking why other places, the Weather Service has different numbers than the ones we're showing here. That's because we actually generate our own forecast here at 10TV. We ingest all the data, all the numbers, look at them with ourselves and the team of meteorologists here on the 10 Weather Impact team. We come up with our own forecast based on what we think is going to happen, and that's how we get to these numbers here. You'll notice, again, they're not drastically different from what the Weather Service has, because we all look at the same data. We've all pretty much gone through the same meteorology programs, and we get similar answers. Compare where the watches and warnings are to the map that we're showing you as well. And you can see the area that we're highlighting as the heaviest impact, same area that the Weather Service is highlighting as having the heaviest impact. That's going to be those southern counties, southern portions of the region. That's where the winter storm warnings are. That's where we're expecting the heaviest snow to come across the region. All right, these have been mostly Facebook questions. Let me go to our text number here. I don't have names for these. I'm not going to give your phone numbers out online. So I'll answer the questions coming through. If you send a name, that's great. If not, I'll just answer your question about it. Asking about the roads on our text line. If you're heading out tomorrow before noon, roads should be good unless you're heading further to the south. If you're heading to the south, that's where you'll start to come into some trouble. As we get into the evening hours, areas south of I-70, they'll worsen the first. And then once we get further up to the north, impacts will be a little bit slower. But we are expecting to see impacts on our roads by the morning commute Monday. It's going to be a slow commute if you're out there. If you're in the southern counties, it may be a case where we get some of those snow emergencies out there, and we may see travel become very difficult at times, especially in the winter storm warning areas. Let's see. Got a number here. It says scale of 1 to 10. School closures in central Ohio. You're going to put me on the spot for that one. As far as what I would say, if you're south of I-70, I think school closures pretty likely. I'm not the controller of that. So if your school doesn't close, don't blame me. We give you the best messaging that we can, and it's up to the schools what to do from there. Area south of I-70, I would not expect to see many schools open early in the day. Along I-70, there's certainly going to be some closures, but once you get further to the north, those are going to become less likely. Got a couple questions there about schools, actually, so I hope that answered several of you guys with that question there as well. Let me pull up some more information on my desktop side here as I'm going through your guys' questions. Hopefully answering them for you the best that I can here this evening. Got a question about Cardington, Ohio. You guys are up to the north, up in Morrow County. You're not going to have as much chance of seeing that heavy snowfall. In fact, here, I don't believe you guys are even under a winter weather advisory as of right now. If you are in Morrow County, I would plan on having some school as of right now. I would not expect 4 to 10 inches in your region. That you're a little far north for that. Some of the models have been suggesting we could see wider swaths of heavy snow across central Ohio. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but those outliers are just that. They're outliers. They're not what we're expecting as the main brunt of the system, at least not right now. 24 hours from now, the system tracks a little further to the north. We can have that conversation. But right now, doesn't really look like it. I got a question here asking about wind chills early in the morning between 7 and 8 o'clock. It's going to be cold out there in the morning. We'll be down in the 20s for air temperatures. We'll be down into the teens for wind chills. We're going to be talking about wind chills that stay in the teens for most of the day. It's going to be windy, wind gusts 20 to 25 miles per hour. And those wind chills will stay on the cold side, again, throughout most of the day. Got a question here about Orient down in Picking, or Pickaway County. You guys are, I believe, you're under winter storm warning. So you guys are going to be under that heavier impact again, and as we expect snow to head your way. You are on the north side of the forecast. Let me switch over to that snowfall forecast again for you guys here. You guys are on that 7 to 10 inch snowfall range. We can switch over to max 1. There we go. You guys are in that heavier range down there in Pickaway County. Again, this could change. If this system moves slightly further south, you may get less, but from what we can tell right now, southern counties have the best chance of seeing heavy snowfall, kind of regardless of how the system moves. As Kenny, by the way, asked that question. Janet asking about the snow start times. Good question again for that, Janet. I'll move back to the hour by hour here. Move a couple graphics that direction. As we head into the day Sunday, southern counties, you could get snow as early as the midday. This starts to push further north as we head throughout the rest of the evening. We're talking most of I-70 by sundown, if not shortly after. And then we'll see those snowfalls continue to work their way north as we head deeper into the evening. I say Austin looks to be a snow lover over in Newark. Says he's gone about 8 years since they got their last good snowfall. You certainly have a chance at snowfall again with this system. We'll switch back to that forecast. You guys are on the fringe area though, so we have to see how this system will track. Got a question asking about will the roads be clear Monday morning in Hocking County? I would not expect it. I would expect to see difficult travel out there Monday morning. Question about thunder snow. Could we see it? It's possible. I mean, we'll get some heavier snow bands in here. It's not really something we're great at predicting. Could we see thunder snow? But that's certainly a possibility. Again, questions about school or work. Columbus, we're kind of on the fringe. We may see some delays. I think areas further south will certainly see closures. I think there will be closures on Monday. It's just a question of who pulls the trigger on that. Again, question about Pickaway County snowfall. You can see that up there on the map right now. You guys are in the heavier band of the snowfall. Got another couple questions coming in here. Doing my best to sort of pinpoint some of these locations for you, so I give you the best answer that I can. Sunbury, Ohio, up further to the north of us here in Franklin. Not expecting you guys to really see a ton, at least not on the current track. Again, if this shifts further north, the heavier totals will shift further north, but I think you'll certainly get accumulation out there from the system. That was Landon asking that question. Again, asking about Morrow County. Again, it's looking like you guys are a little bit higher on the snowfall, so are higher on the map. So you're going to see less of the snowfall. I think you will see snow. It's just a question of how much snow will you guys get. I think you're going to be on the lower end, though. Is it possible for Franklin County to be upgraded to a winter storm warning? Yes. The winter weather advisory that is in place right now, not the final decision the Weather Service has to stick with as we head through the next 24 hours. It's going to be, again, a case of if we see those snowfall totals start to creep further north, if we see the snow tracks start to creep further north, I would expect to see the warnings travel further north as well. Dalton was asking, what model do we use for snowfall amounts? That's a good question, Dalton. Again, for you guys at home, the hour by hour that we show you is based off something called a weather model. And a weather model, there's lots of them out there. GFS, there's the American model, there's a second one, the North American model, the NAM European model. You have the rapid refresh models, which are typically used for severe weather, but they're good for winter as well. There's short range ensemble models. We have in-house models that we use. And really what we're doing when we make a forecast is we're gathering all the data we can, all the data that we can look at, looking at all of it, putting it together, using our experience of what we've seen forecast over the years, what some of the biases are in the models, and putting that into our final forecast. Some of the models have gone really, really high in snowfall totals. Part of what I think that is from a behind the scenes standpoint is that it's mixing in some of that freezing rain and possibly overdoing some of the snowfall totals. So that's kind of my thoughts on some of those heavier models that you may see going around social media. Waverly asking about ice. You guys are in the ice range down there in southern Ohio. It's going to be likely worse to your south, but you are much closer to the ice potential. Let me switch to that ice model again for you here as well. Piketon down there close to Waverly was up to about 0.4 on the last model run. And you can see down in here, I'm going to kind of draw a circle around it down there at the bottom of the screen. Those are some of the brighter pinks, the hotter pink colors. Those have some of the heavier chances at seeing some snow, or seeing some ice with this system. Mount Vernon, you're on the north end, probably not going to get too much in the way of crazy snowfall. You probably get some, you have to get a little snow, but in terms of like major impacts, you guys are not under the alerts here tonight. Monday morning in Columbus, even if we don't get crazy snow-covered roads, the commutes in Columbus get pretty tricky anytime the weather gets tricky. Says he's not a Columbus native, but downtown for work, asking about the roads. Even when it rains fairly heavy We are prone to slowdowns, some crashes out there. I would expect to see a pretty slow Monday morning commute kind of regardless here in central Ohio. All right. Got a lot of questions coming in here this evening. Facebook and the text messages, guys. Sorry if I don't get to all of them. Hope I've done my best to kind of answer a broad spectrum. We need to wrap our digital broadcast up here by about 9:40. So we're kind of running out of time for the questions. What I want to do real quick is sort of restart from the beginning for those of you that are just joining us and break down the full forecast. Hopefully some of you guys that joined a little bit later, maybe this will answer some of your questions. Again, I appreciate all the questions you guys have sent, really blowing up the text line, blowing up the Facebook. Glad to see you guys looking to learn more about this forecast as we head into today. But again, we're just running a little short on time here, so we will start back from the beginning and talk about the snow as we push into the next 24 hours. Impact forecast out there late Sunday through Monday, heavy snow. Expect to see difficult travel across the region. It's going to be a tricky commute, especially further to the south. It's going to be slow here in Columbus. It's going to be kind of a wintry mess across the region. The good news is there's still time to get out, get some food, get some preparations, shovels, salt, all that stuff. Definitely have time to do it. The rest of tonight looking pretty good. The first part of tomorrow here in Columbus looking pretty good as well. We're talking just cloudy, cold, a little breezy, but not too bad. Temperatures in the mid-20s before the snow starts to get here. 6 to 8 o'clock kind of time frame when we're expecting a lot of that snow to push in across the region. Live satellite radar out there right now shows quiet conditions across central Ohio. System we're watching that's going to be heading our way back out toward portions of Missouri, Kansas City, Omaha. That's where you can see some winter snow, ice, and sleet coming down here tonight. The areas under alerts, most of the 10 TV viewing area under some form of an alert. We're talking those winter weather advisories from Newark up toward Kenton down to London, including us here in Columbus. We're expecting to see impactful snow, but not as heavy as what we're expecting further to the south. Those counties in the pink, you are under a winter storm warning. The further south you get, that winter storm warning does include the risk for some ice. So we had some questions from Waverly down toward Wellston about the potential for ice. You guys have a higher risk the further south that you go. I think the biggest ice impact is going to be southern part of the state down along the Ohio River. But if we do see impacts creep into the 10 TV viewing area, it's going to be those southern two counties that see it first. So you guys have that higher risk for ice. In terms of what the rest of us are expecting, this is mostly going to be a snow event. Biggest one we've seen again so far this year. Hour by hour here shows the snow pushing in southern counties as early as the midday on Sunday. So you can see Piketon, Jackson, Chillicothe, MacArthur, Washington Courthouse. All you guys could start to see snow by the early afternoon. As we progress towards sundown, that snow starts to work its way further to the north. I-70 corridor starts to see snow mostly between, say, 5 to 8 o'clock, starting first in the west and then pushing off to the east. Northern counties, you guys may not see snow until after sundown, and again, your snow not going to be quite as heavy. Part of the reason for the winter storm warnings across the southern counties, one, is where the heaviest snowfall is expected to fall, but two, you guys will see snow for longer than the rest of us here in central Ohio. We push past midnight into early Monday. Some of those heavy snow bands starting to push their way on up to the north. You can see some pretty dark blues in here. Again, got some questions earlier about thunder snow potential. Maybe you could see that with some of these heavier snow bursts. And again, the questions about the ice. Well, you can see down across southern counties, got a little bit of that purple kind of sleep creeping in there. Sleet, potential for freezing rain. All that's a possibility across southern counties. But the good news is it doesn't look to be the major impact. As we get our way into Monday, this should eventually transition back to snow. Here's Monday morning. We're starting the commute early, 4 to 5. Wake up with us here at 10 TV News this morning. We'll be on tracking the snow, giving the latest travel impacts. We'll have reporters all across central Ohio, keeping you informed on Monday morning. As we head toward Daybreak out there Monday. We're starting to see some breaks across the region, but we're still seeing snow come down across central Ohio. That starts to reform another band as we head into the afternoon. Northern counties, you're starting to wrap up by Monday afternoon, but we could still see more accumulation across those southern counties before this eventually pushes out as we head into Monday evening, Monday night, maybe a few straggling flakes of snow as we head through Monday night, a little bit of moisture blowing down off the lake into central Ohio. This is again our forecast here across the region right now. There's still plenty of time for this to change between now and tomorrow morning, tomorrow evening, as we get the best track on the system. You notice there's a very narrow band here of the going from heavy snow to very little snow. It's not going to take a lot of movement for this band to shift north or south some, and areas in that transition zone have the most variability when it comes to snowfall. We're expecting heavy snowfall more or less regardless of the track in those southern counties. That's where we have the highest likelihood. 7 to 10 plus is the forecast right now. Some ice could be possible. We get lower as we head toward I-70. We kind of get into that 4 to 7, and then we quickly drop as we move further north down to just about an inch up toward Mansfield, Bucyrus, places like that. As far as confidence goes in the snowfall forecast, again, we showed you this earlier. Here's what we're talking about in Columbus. Do we think we'll get 2 inches? Yeah, we do, pretty likely. Do we think we'll get 4 inches? That looks pretty likely too, but we're less confident in that. Once we get higher than that, our confidence goes down dramatically. We're not talking impossibilities here for 6 or 8, but those confidence levels much lower. Let's look at the southern counties. Again, pretty confident. We'll get 4, maybe more. 6, again, looking fairly confident. Even 8, not out of the question in a few spots. Once you get much higher than that, confidence starts to go down. We're not particularly a region that gets super heavy snowfalls. Is it out of the question? No. Is it something that we're overly confident about? Also, no. We're going to be watching that very carefully. When it comes to ice across the region, again, southern counties, you've got the biggest concerns. Piketon down there again, up to about 0.05 of an inch. Doesn't sound like a lot, but 1/10 of an inch of ice is a lot of ice. You can see some of that probability happening just outside of you guys down toward Pike County. So we'll be watching that very carefully. Certainly could see some ice roads, power lines, tree limbs, all that sort of stuff out there as we head through Monday morning. High temperatures next 7 days, we stay below freezing. It's going to be cold. This isn't going to go anywhere. Wind's going to be a factor out there as well. Wind gust by the time we head toward Monday morning up to 20 plus. Certainly going to blow some of the snow around. It is going to be a very windy one out there. You need to bundle up for the snowfall as well. We're coming to the end of our time here at this particular broadcast. Again, Sunday night through Monday. That is the big area for weather impact. Winds gusting up to 25 miles per hour. Mainly snow, but could see some ice to the south. We are expecting this to be plowable snow even here in the city, but certainly for those southern counties. We'll have the latest information for you as new data comes in later tonight, coming up at 11 o'clock. You can watch us on TV or on 10 TV Plus, and of course again tomorrow morning.